Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Two teams that rank in the top 10 in rush yards will be in action today, so you can bet this game could have an old-school feel. It's the Jaguars going up against the Titans. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you, Larry. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Tonight, we begin Week 8 with a good matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback. In his third year now, it's Blake Bortles.
And each year when he begins play, he has the potential to put up big-time numbers. Hard to remember that this was a guy when he was coming out of high school. Most of the top schools wanted him to play tight end.
Former Jet running back. This is Chris Ivory. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Brian Orakpo. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
On second down, here's Bortles. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass and completing it.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Second down now after the pass completion. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On second down, Ivory. And some room to maneuver. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Ivory, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. So they start this game just like they won. Opening drive touchdown, a nice run there to finish it off.
Yeah, that's what we call an explosive run because of the distance. And being able to do that, that puts a little uncertainty in the minds of your opponent.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man looking to improve in his sophomore season. It's the former #2 pick out of Oregon, Marcus Mariota.
He has a great makeup as a quarterback in this league. The size, the frame, excellent wheels, one of the faster quarterbacks in the NFL. But his poise and his calmness, that's what I end up focusing in on. This guy has a great, great future ahead of him in the NFL.
Murray, the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They go with Murray again, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Mariota now to throw on first down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Offensive starters, here they are. And Delaney Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When I watch a run like that, I always think of DeMarco Murray, the Oklahoma version of DeMarco Murray back in college, because he could do it all. Run, catch, return game. His only problem was staying healthy. That was my worry about him coming into the league. And when he has been healthy in the NFL, he's been one of the top backs in the game.
He was healthy on that run. 65 touchdowns, by the way, setting a record while he was at Oklahoma. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
Jonathan Cyprien didn't have a big name coming into the league, but people know who he is now. A very fast center fielder of a safety.
The play clock's running down. Throwing again. Mariota on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete here. Rashard Matthews the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And now a first down following that long gain. This is Murray. And an alley to run. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Second down, Mariota. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Handoff. It's Murray. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Mariota now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dan Skuta. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Throwing now is Bortles. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. The starting defense for the Titans.
When Brian Orakpo was born, there was no doubt that with that name, he was going to be a defensive player and a good one. He knows how to get to quarterbacks.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Wesley Woodyard in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Caught out left side by Robinson. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, this is Ivory. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On second down, here's Bortles. Underneath to Ivory. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too. A one-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Bortles to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And Robinson with a big catch. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Bortles trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Parrish Cox. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction with maybe another pick.
Who's Big Mo? He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Titans a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Mariota. Throw left side, complete to Sharp. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
On first down, Murray. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. And the Titans are going to have a first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Mariota to throw it. That's complete to Sharp. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now they'll run. Murray. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. That's complete, right around the 8. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. To the ground game. Here's Murray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. Mariota on 3rd and 2. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Paul Posluszny. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Carl Klug there to make the stop.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Shift together here from the D-line. A running play now for Ivory. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, they run. Again, it's Ivory. Fighting through. And some room to roam now. The 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Ivory, 82 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by Chris Ivory taking it into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Murray, the lone setback. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards a 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you. They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd down, Mariota. Douglas with a grab over the middle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Throwing is Mariota. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target, and it's 4th down. Here's the 9-year man, Brett Kern, on to punt the football away. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Throwing on first down is Bortles. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And a nifty little deep juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slides.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going.
A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Faking pass. Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. And he finds Julius Thomas. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He's got time. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. 5 receivers in the game, 4 of them to the left side. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And that'll bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, it's the man replacing Brian Anger. This is the former Panther, Brad Nortman, to punt it away. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Again, it's Murray. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Titans haven't had the same success as last week through the air. The Jaguars' defense obviously has something to do with that and should be credited. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Jaguars, here they have it at the 47. Ivory's going to take it off the right side, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. That takes the lead up to 7. Titans take it at the 11. Here the throw is hurried and picked off. Scooter's happy to come away with the pick and end the drive. Offense out now following the INT. Pass will be completed out of the gun. And he ends up at their own 41-yard line before he's stopped on the play. The offense would later throw a pick to end the drive. After the pick, offense comes out now. Under duress, and the pass is picked off. Poslesny's happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. Offense on the field now after the pick. Ivory's going to stay inside after the handoff, and he'd go in for the 82-yard touchdown. So that'll do it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We're going back under the lights for the second half of this Thursday night matchup.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Mariota now on second down. Walker with a grab, left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. Mariota to throw it, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Carry number 10 now for Ivory. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Bortles going to try and throw on third down. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. From the gun on third down, Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move.
Holding. Defense. The penalty is declined.
Following the penalty, it's Ivory. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Jags a first down. So quite the turnaround in this one from a week ago. And in the meetings, I made a faux pas of asking, hey, did he tweak something last week? Because we thought he just didn't look the same, but he's fine.
And I was so glad you asked that question. I mean, you had to take the brunt of the whole thing, and, of course, I sold you out on it. But
one for the team.
You knew I was there with you, right? It was a legitimate question, though, because last week, we didn't see what we're seeing today. The quickness to the hole, the ability to make cuts, the good vision. We didn't see any of that. He seemed a little bit sluggish in last week's game. Not so this week. Whatever the preparation was, it's working for him.
They run the counter to Ivory. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Over the middle, open is Thomas. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. DeMarco Murray and company heading back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now a 2nd down run for Murray. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he locates Walker, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Hey, when Marcus Mariota was at Oregon, throwing to the tight end wasn't much of an option, was it? That spread offense, you didn't have him on the field too much. Now, he's got one of the best in the game in Delaney Walker.
Now, last year, Walker led all the tight ends with 94 catches. They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
One of the things that I observed when Dante Fowler was coming out in the NFL draft, how hard he played the game. Every time I turned on a tape, he was either rushing the passer, making a play in space against the ball downfield, or hustling from one sideline to the other. How about that play right there? Making a nice tackle, holding it to a short gain.
2nd down following the run. Murray the lone setback. Mariota now from the 50. Walker with a grab, left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Mariota on 3rd and 2. And he finds Harry Douglas. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now in Nashville. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And his throw here's incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
Mariota on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for DeMarco Murray out of the backfield, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stays on his feet. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. He finds Douglas complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Ryan Suckup for the Titan field goal. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. And Suckup will put this one right through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it, and that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Ivory. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
When you're sitting around with your friends, Chris Ivory's name may not come up in the initial conversation. We talk about the best runners in the NFL. But it shouldn't take that long to get to him. He really is a heck of a player. And boy, what he's doing in this game shows you exactly why he should be considered amongst the elite.
Yeah, it's helped him have the lead here in this game. They also talk about him in Longview, Texas, his hometown down there in the Lone Star State.
How about that? You know something? They always have runners coming out of the state of Texas, don't they?
Absolutely. They'll run the option left. And he's got some space here. timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's the option going right. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full thirds, and now it's second down. And in this situation with a lift quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just small, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 13. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press cover defensively. Now they'll throw it to the right side here. The tight end Thomas. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On third down, Yeldon. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's the option going right. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
But we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long. They run with Ivory. He's been busy tonight. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Bortles. Can't find anyone open. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Holding offense.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Mariota now to throw on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And on 2nd and 10 now. On 2nd down, Mariota again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
10 yards to go on 3rd. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he locates Walker, complete. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Left side, caught by Matthews. It goes as a pickup of 23, and it'll give the Titans a 1st down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. And Walker with it over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. To throw is Mariota. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Again, it's Mariota. And incomplete on the deep ball. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. Now this is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 20th carry in the game here for Chris Ivory. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This is Ivory. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. The D can only stop it 1 more time as they take the knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jags, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3 and 5. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head down to San Diego for a matchup with the Chargers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Nashville, good night, everybody.